Fire investigators will return to the scene of a fatal house fire in Christchurch today. A man and 4 children were asleep at the Burwood property when the fire started just before 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, killing an 8-year-old boy and a 9-month-old baby. A Give a Little page set up for the family has so far raised $80,000.
A Christchurch community is in shock tonight after a fire claimed the lives of 2 children. A man and 4 kids were sleeping when the blaze engulfed their Burwood property, leaving an 8-year-old boy and a 9-month-old baby dead.
Security camera video shows just how quickly the blaze took hold and the desperate attempts by neighbours to help. Thomas Mead reports.
All it took was 3 minutes. A small fire in a back room quickly engulfing an entire house. Neighbours grabbing a hose, trying desperately to help the man and 4 children inside.
He just went straight up over the cars and put the hose on the windows, but the noise, like the partner was just saying, "My baby's in there, help me, help me."
2 boys and the man escaped, but the fire was too fast.
Just couldn't do anything.
Emergency services confirming 2 young children had lost their lives.
We understand that the baby was 9 months old.
The ordeal played out in the suburb of Burwood just before 11 last night. The first flowers left before dawn and soon piling up as daylight brought a horrifying reality. While the cause is still being investigated, it's thought it started in the baby's bedroom, causing unsurvivable damage. The 8-year-old rescued from a hallway by a firefighter, only to lose their life later on.
Our first responders tend to be young family people with children of a very similar age, and that has a significant effect on people.
The blaze leaving the family with nothing and the quiet, tight-knit community in shock. The local preschool doing what it can.
They're going to be going through a lot in the next couple of months, so if they need any help, we're here to help them.
Storing donations from residents.
We thought we could just drop off a couple of things just to help them out a bit.
It's just a wee note for them.
Food, clothes and things for the surviving children.
I put TVs, some car toys, and I put one Ninja Turtle and a little bear.
It's haunting neighbours like Teresa Fitzsimmons.
Our kids would play with her kids, just out in the neighbourhood on the street, just all playing.
The recovery will be long and hard.
No words are going to make this better for her at all, so just support, just hugs. I just don't know what else you could do.
An entire community sending their love to a family that's been torn apart forever.
All right, Thomas is with us now from the scene. Thomas, did the home have fire alarms?
They did, and that's perhaps the only solace in this awful tragedy, that the man in the house was alerted to the fire by a smoke alarm and managed to save 2 of the children before the fire really took hold. And while it's too early for Fire and Emergency to say what really happened here, there was one message they really wanted to get out tonight, and that is that every New Zealand home should have smoke alarms, not only in the kitchen, in the lounge, in the hallway as per usual, but also in each of the bedrooms, and that every family should go through their fire emergency plan in case a disaster like this happens to them. As for that family who's already gone through so much, they have yet another challenge to go through, and that's because everything that they own is in the house here behind me. They now have to restart with basically nothing, and so their family have set up a Give a Little page, and if people are feeling for them and want to help, that is one way to let them know that there is a whole world of people thinking of them and caring for them tonight. Jack.
All right, tēnā koe. Thank you, Thomas. That's Thomas Mead in Christchurch.
On behalf of Fire and Emergency New Zealand, our thoughts and prayers are obviously with the family and the local community at this very tragic time. Last night at 10:42, Fire and Emergency received a 111 call to a house fire at 36 Vivian Street, Burwood in Christchurch. 3 appliances initially responded from Anzac and Redwood stations, and later supported by an appliance from the City Fire Station. The first crews arrived at the scene at 10:47 and were faced with a well-involved house fire. One child was rescued by firefighters during search and rescue operations. Tragically, this child subsequently passed away. A further deceased child was located in an unsurvivable bedroom. We wish to pass on our thanks to our brother emergency service responders, because this is very difficult and trying circumstances, and as we're all parents, these events do greatly affect all emergency service personnel. We do expect our investigators to be on site until at least late tomorrow. The key messages that I want to put to the public here and the learnings. Smoke alarms were installed at this property, and we understood that that has contributed to the survival of the father and two of the other children. The second point is the speed and intensity of fire in a small room can render them unsurvivable in 3 minutes. And the third point I just wanted to push was that evacuation plans actually need to be practiced to be effective.
Well, back here, and an investigation's underway into the cause of a fire that claimed the lives of 2 people in Christchurch overnight. The blaze leaving the Burwood community in shock. Maddie Lloyd's been at the scene this morning and has more details.
A small act of love after this neighbourhood's worst nightmare. Flowers placed at the cordon of a house fire which claimed 2 lives overnight, sending the Burwood community into shock.
Any loss of life is dramatic, you know, it's terrible.
Eddie Rodden lives across the road from the house. He says residents believe it was 2 young boys that died in the fire.
I don't know any details. They were good boys, full of life.
At least 2 others were in the house when the fire broke out just before 11 o'clock last night. They were taken to Christchurch Hospital in a moderate condition. Neighbours watched on as disaster unfolded.
I just pulled the curtains aside and saw what happened. And I knew something had happened. I didn't know there was a loss of life, but I could see there was a lot of smoke. And then the mother appeared and was quite distressed. And I saw the ambulance people helping her with blankets, keeping her warm, and she was verbally quite distressed. It was very sad, really.
Locals say it's been a traumatic night and hope the close-knit community can pull together after losing some of their own.
It's very sad. It's a lovely area, there's some lovely people here. I don't know all of them, of course, but I know generally the people. Great community, great community.
An investigation's underway, hoping to find answers as to why this family's typical Tuesday night ended in tragedy. Maddie Lloyd, One News.